Humanity didn't activate the weapon because it wanted to win. It activated it because losing meant extinction. What we buried beneath our world wasn't built to destroy enemies. It was built to end empires. Intro. For centuries, the galaxy believed Earth was weak. No ancient megastructures. No planet killers. No unstoppable fleets. Just a noisy, divided species that avoided imperial politics. What the galaxy never understood was this. Humanity learned early that power always escalates, and escalation always ends in annihilation. So we built a weapon so dangerous that we swore never to use it. We erased it from history, buried it beneath our planet, and prayed the universe would never force our hand. Then the Empire arrived, and humanity broke its one rule. Earth activated a weapon so powerful even humans feared it. Humanity's greatest fear was never alien invasion. It was escalation. The mistake humanity never forgot. Before Earth joined the galaxy, before first contact, before faster-than-light engines, humanity almost erased itself. Not with one war, but with progress. Each conflict demanded stronger weapons. Each defense demanded something final, until a classified council reached a conclusion, so horrifying it was sealed forever. If war continues to evolve, someone will eventually build a system that makes resistance meaningless. Humanity chose to build it first, the weapon that wasn't supposed to exist. It had no public name. In restricted archives, it was labeled Project Null. Not a bomb, not a fleet, not a machine that destroyed worlds. A system designed to end dominance itself. It didn't kill armies. It made empires impossible. And when the first test was conducted, every room went silent. The test that changed everything. The activation zone was empty space. No planets. No life. Just a simulated military network. Fleets, supply chains, command structures. Project Null activated. Nothing exploded. Nothing burned. But within minutes, the entire network collapsed. Ships could not coordinate. Commands contradicted themselves. Supply lines unraveled. Everything was still there, but nothing worked together anymore. An empire without cohesion does not fight. It dissolves. Why it was buried. The scientists were proud. The leaders were terrified, because this wasn't a weapon you could point at an enemy. This was a truth imposed on reality. If anyone learned how it worked, every civilization would race to build it or steal it. War wouldn't end. The universe would fracture. So humanity buried it, deep beneath Earth. Data erased. Records destroyed. History rewritten. One law replaced all others. Never activate Project Null, no matter the cost. The galaxy arrives. Centuries later, the galaxy found Earth, an ancient empire, the Car Dominion, expanded into soul space with practiced confidence. To them, Earth looked harmless. No megastructures, no god weapons, no ancient fleets guarding the system. Just a divided species with outdated ships and loud debates. Easy. The ultimatum came calmly. Submit to integration. Resistance will be corrected. Earth delayed, negotiated, stalled, because every human leader knew what saying no truly meant. The first strike. The Dominion lost patience. Orbital blockades followed. Satellites were disabled. Then came a demonstration strike. A single city. Millions dead. That was the moment humanity stopped debating. The system awakens. Far beneath Earth's crust, ancient systems activated, not from anger, from thresholds being crossed. Lights ignited in a chamber untouched for centuries. A single line appeared on forgotten console. Extinction-level dominance detected. Project Null had not been destroyed. It had been waiting. And above Earth, an empire believed it was about to finish a conquest. Humanity knew better. The Car Dominion expected surrender. That was how every conquest ended. First with fear, then with compliance. From high orbit, their fleets formed perfect geometric patterns. Warships so numerous they blotted out the stars. To the Dominion's admirals, Earth was already defeated. The planet simply hadn't accepted it yet. They issued the final command. This system is now under Dominion authority. Cease all resistance. Earth remained silent. The keys. Deep beneath the planet, 12 authorization nodes came online. No alarm sounded. No countdown echoed. Each node required a decision, not from one nation, but from humanity as a whole. For centuries, those keys had remained dormant. Now, one by one, they activated, not because leaders agreed, but because every alternative led to extinction. Project No comes online. The chamber lit with a cold, steady glow. Project No did not power up. It resolved. Vast arrays unfolded, not in space, but in dimensions humans had barely learned to describe. Equations older than modern science stabilized. Reality adjusted its posture. Project No was not aggressive. It was corrective. The Dominion fires. The first Dominion strike was calculated, restrained, confident. A focused energy lance capable of vaporizing continents. It never reached Earth. The beam unraveled mid-flight, scattering into harmless light as if space itself had rejected the instruction. On Dominion bridges, confusion rippled. Retarget. Lock failing. Confirm physics constants. They fired again, and again. Every shot failed differently. What the weapon actually did. Project No did not block weapons. It denied assumptions. Distance stopped behaving predictably. Synchronization broke down. Cause and effect slipped out of alignment. Dominion fleets depended on centralized command, absolute hierarchy, and perfect coordination. Project No targeted none of those directly. It simply made coordination impossible. An empire begins to stutter. Across Dominion space, the effects cascaded. Fleets lost contact with supply lines. Orders arrived before they were sent, or after they no longer applied. Hyperspace routes drifted just enough to be unusable. Ships were intact, crews alive, but the Dominion no longer functioned as a single will. An empire without unity is just scattered worlds. The realization. On the flagship Vantro's Ascendant, High Admiral Carville stared at the tactical display in growing dread. "This isn't a weapon," he said quietly. "It's a limit." For the first time in its long history, the Car Dominion faced something it could not overpower. Earth had not attacked them. Earth had told reality to stop obeying empires. And Project No was only just beginning to apply the correction. The Car Dominion did not collapse in fire. It collapsed in silence. Across thousands of systems, Dominion commanders waited for orders that never aligned. Fleets held position, weapons charged, crews disciplined. Yet nothing moved forward. Every attempt to coordinate unraveled into contradiction. An empire is not ships. It is not weapons. It is agreement. Project No erased that. The moment of understanding. On worlds light years from Sol, Dominion analysts reached the same conclusion within hours. This was not a battlefield defeat. This was a systemic correction. Whatever Earth had activated did not destroy armies. It removed the conditions that allowed domination to exist at all. Hierarchy failed. Central command failed. Even imperial law failed, as orders could no longer be enforced across space. The Dominion had been built on certainty. Project No made certainty impossible. Humanity holds the line. Inside the chamber beneath Earth, the data stabilized. Project No was active but controlled. "We can push further," one general said. "End them completely." Dr. Eliza Marsh shook her head. "That's why it scares us," she replied. "It doesn't belong to us." Project No was not loyal to humanity. It was loyal to balance. If humanity tried to rule the galaxy, Project No would correct humanity too. That was the final safeguard. The message to the stars. Earth transmitted once. No encryption. No demands. We did not build this to conquer. We built it because escalation ends in extinction. This system will sleep again. But if any civilization seeks to erase another, reality will remember. The transmission echoed across the galaxy. And then, silence. The aftermath. The Car Dominion fractured. Not into war. Into independence. Border worlds became sovereign overnight. Fleets disbanded. Trade resumed without imperial oversight. The word Dominion slowly disappeared from maps. No counterattack came. No retaliation. Everyone understood the truth. Earth had not threatened the galaxy. Earth had defined a boundary. Epilogue, the weapon that sleeps. Deep beneath Earth, Project Null powered down. Not dismantled, not destroyed. Watching, humanity returned to arguing, trading, and disagreeing, flawed and divided as ever. But now the galaxy knew something vital. Earth was not weak. Earth was restrained. Because buried beneath its surface lay a weapon so powerful that even humans feared to use it.